Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me here today for our next 5 and 15, talking about the Crestron Conference and Innovations for 2026 and 2027 here. I'd like to start today by just asking if you can hear me. Can you please put something in the chat to let me know that audio is working? Excellent, excellent. I see some responses there, so hopefully you guys can hear me. That's great. So before we get started, we'll go through a little bit of housekeeping here. During the webinar today, audio will be in presentation mode, so everyone will be muted. If we like, we can open that up in the end. But within the control panel there, feel free to use the chat or the Q&A section if you have any questions. I'll do my best to get to them all by the end, and if it's something that I don't have the answer to, I'll make sure someone with my team gets back to you. After the webinar finishes, there will be an evaluation. We'd love for you to fill it out. Let us know how we did. If you have any additional questions, we would like to talk more about some of the topics we're going through today. If you're not aware of System Source, we've been serving the Baltimore area for about 44 years now, starting out as Computerland. And we're here to help you guys with all things IT. So we're here to help improve, whether that's through training, presentation services like we're talking about today, IT consulting, or cloud services. Once things are improved, you generally need help maintaining these things. So our support and service department or our managed services help desk is there to help you on that. And generally, when improvements and maintenance is done correctly, there's money left for acquiring. So we're also here to help you purchase and upgrade your systems around the office. On your screen now are some upcoming webinars and events. I'll leave this up here. All of these are available on our website as well. So we definitely have some cool Wi-Fi and cloud topics coming up from the IT side. And with that being said, we'll get right into it here and talk about the top 5 things that Crestron is releasing that we're very excited about. Starting off with the big gun here, it's kind of the behind the scenes, but this is going to be the Collab Compute intelligent conferencing. This will be replacing the Crestron Flex system if you are familiar with that. And it's definitely becoming the big gun in the Teams and the Zoom room space. This is now going to be the most powerful compute device out there, available with either an Ultra 5 or an Ultra 7 processor, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM. It's positioned to take advantage of any and all AI advances that either Teams or Zoom brings to the table moving forward. A couple other things that we really like about this that makes it very powerful, as you can see on the back plane on your screen, is a plethora of connections that really sets it apart. Everywhere from a HDBaseT input, if you're familiar with that, those are the network-based wall plates, HDMI connections, USB connections, as well as built-in network switches to support their touch screens, things along those lines. Paired with this will be the new 80 series touchscreens that are released now. And what that'll bring to the table is on the UC version, a USB-C connection at the touchscreen for bring your own meeting. So really giving us flexibility to put this in any space, any layout that we want to do, and give you guys the options for connectivity there. So very excited to see this come. The other toolless mounting bracket is also very neat. I've seen that in action there. Very easy install, very easy maintenance. So this is the Collab Compute. As I said, comes in 2 versions with an Ultra 5 and an Ultra 7. So this will be the backbone moving forward of the Crestron Teams and Zoom room conferencing platforms. From there, let's get into some of the camera innovations. Obviously, audio and video are what we see and hear within the space. So we're going to start out with some of the camera stuff that Crestron's going, and this is going to be the One Beyond Hawk dual camera system. We all know that AI has really come a long way. We're seeing a lot of cameras that do auto framing, auto tracking, things along those lines. This brings us back to the classic dual camera speaker tracking system in the space. So a very easy way to bring intelligent video speaker tracking into your conference rooms. This with the 2 camera system gives you production style switching as it detects speakers in the room, allowing one camera to find the next speaker and give you a clean cut. So we're not seeing these sweeping motions that can make people motion sick. It also has the ability to do side-by-side dialogue mode. What this would be, if we have two people having a conversation in the space, we can show both people on the screen at the same time. This allows for a more natural conferencing experience for people on the far end to be able to see everybody speaking in the room. This will have a maximum distance of 25 feet within the space and is compatible with multiple audio systems. It's a very neat piece for a quick and easy audio tracking solution within your conference rooms. With this, there are also some others that we will go in. We won't be going into today, as well as presenter tracking cameras and other honorable mentions there. What happens when I have a room about that size, maybe a little smaller, and I want a quick and easy install with some of this intelligent video, and we'll talk more about the intelligent video and audio in a second. That brings us to the VB70. It's an all-in-one conference room solution that gives us a very similar experience in these smaller spaces. So it has 4 cameras that allows us to see the full room, also performing some of the same audio tracking and speaker tracking that the Hawk gives us in the larger spaces. An integrated 24 microphone array, a 10-watt speaker, and it's an Android-based operating system. So a very cool device for quick, easy conference rooms to really pack in the AI features that we're all starting to see as we're conferencing. So this is going to come in, as I said, both Teams and Zoom flavors. Comes in a package with the touch panel, all in one system. All you need beyond this is a display in your room, and you have all of these features: auto framing, presenter tracking, speaker tracking built into one device. So very neat for your quick, easy, smaller rooms. Really keeps the cost of ownership down, allowing you to deploy these into multiple spaces. So these are some of the hardware-based devices here. Now, you've heard me say intelligent video, intelligent camera switching, speaker tracking, things like that. So what does that mean? And this is really what gets me the most excited with Crestron is some of the abilities they've put out now to really enhance these things. We may have seen, one or the other in a single camera, but now we have a couple of technologies that Crestron's using to kind of push these all together. And that's audio and video cue tracking. So video cue tracking, what is that within Crestron? Imagine a space, a conference room, a classroom that you may have that has a lectern or a podium at the front of the space, but you also have a room full of people. Maybe most of the time you're using it as a standard conference room, but you need to give a presentation every once in a while. That's always been kind of the tricky part in building these spaces is how do we manage multiple cameras? How do I manage a camera that faces the room to catch the audience and catch the standard conferences while also having a camera at the rear of the room to catch the presenter? And that's where video cue tracking comes in. This allows us to pair 2 Crestron i12 cameras together and let AI do that switching for us. So no longer do I need somebody that really knows the touch panel, knows the system to sit and switch between cameras. Video cue tracking says, when I detect someone walking to the front of the room through my rear camera, let's show that camera as the primary. So day to day, we're watching the room. Now I have someone come up to the lectern and automatically my camera switches and shows the presenter at the front of the space. Seeing this go into a lot of lecture spaces, a lot of boardrooms, things along those lines where I really want hands off. We don't want to touch the system once we've started our call, but I want to see some of this flexibility and some of this production level. So this is built in at the camera level. There's no other hardware required. The cameras are connected through the network. The main camera runs back to your system USB. That functionality can be shut down as well too within your meetings. So if you find a space where you do want to have some of that manual control, it's perfectly doable through the touch panel. Audio cue tracking, and we're going into 2 things here, is probably my favorite right now. We've had the Automate VX system with Crestron for some time since they acquired One Beyond. If you're not familiar with the Automate VX system, this is a full-blown production-level automatic camera switching system. It runs off of a giant Windows server, allows me to have up to 13, 14 plus cameras in the space, all tracking my speakers. So if you imagine a boardroom, I've put them in, 40, 50-foot long tables with multiple cameras through the space. And as users are speaking, we're automatically switching to the right camera to see them with some really neat AI features built in, like face tracking. Like what happens if I have these cameras set up and someone turns their head. We don't want to see the side of their head. Well, these cameras are constantly reading the room, and they detect that and find the right camera and the right camera shot for that. Along with this, as the high end, there are some real fun production level elements involved as well. You can add graphics, lower thirds, all kinds of stuff to really give you that TV studio quality and TV studio feel within your spaces, without having to ever touch the system at that point. So this fits really well into boardrooms. It can be integrated into classrooms, pretty much everywhere to give you that flexibility. Now, this is a large system. There is a fairly high cost involved with that. And what Crestron has just released for us is audio cue tracking. This I would like to consider like the Automate VX Lite system. This allows me to pair 5 cameras to a Crestron processor and an approved microphone and create a very similar system very easily within your conference rooms. Taking away the need for the giant server, we are losing some of the production level elements like graphics, but when I look at the Hawk, when I look at the VV70, where I'm really limited up to about 25 feet into the space, this allows me to put a very budget-friendly audio tracking system into your large rooms. So generally, to envision this, I would have a camera at the front of your space giving us a full overview of the space, and then 2 cameras stacked on the left and 2 cameras stacked somewhere on the right to catch people down the table. This gets rid of that bowling alley view that we're all so used to in our larger rooms and allows our users to be on screen and as natural as possible. Why stack 2 cameras like you're seeing in the image here? The reason why we do that is because, again, to get rid of that motion, to get rid of the camera swing. While one camera is locked onto a participant speaking, if another participant starts to speak, that second camera will find them, frame them, and then a clean cut will happen after that. So very excited about this. This is going to allow us to bring audio tracking to many more systems. It's not based in the Teams or the Zoom room. It's all based in a Crestron processor. So this can even be enabled just for bring your own meeting. If you're not engaged in the Microsoft Teams or Zoom rooms and you just have a USB cable to allow your users to pick their conferencing platform of choice, we can still add this to your space and give that look and feel of a semi-produced area without your users ever having to touch the touch panel. So that with the easy button is really neat to us. Love to be able to show you more. One of the questions you'll get at the end of your survey here is if you'd like to see a live demo. Crestron has these rooms set up, and we can schedule meetings with them to let you see exactly how this switching works and how natural it feels once it gets in place. So please let me know if you'd like to see that or any more information on this. Last but not least here, we'll get into a little bit of intelligent audio. Audio obviously is probably the most important part of any conference. You know, if I can't see you, that's fine, but if I can't hear you, we're not having a meeting. So I wanted to introduce you here to kind of a problem solver that Crestron has released here. We've all been in rooms that maybe I don't have a great ceiling for microphones. I don't have a path for wires to the table. So this is the wireless FlexPod speakerphone. There really has not been a great deal of wireless conferencing speakerphones in the market, but Crestron here has the FlexPod speakerphone. This is a wireless tabletop speakerphone that can fit anywhere from small to large rooms. It pairs with a Crestron hub, and up to 4 microphones can be connected to each hub. So this allows me to bring some really good audio into your spaces that might be a little problematic when we get into construction. It is plug and play USB, so whether we're putting it into a Teams room, a Zoom room, or onto a hub just for your user's laptop, very easy, no drivers required. And they're falling back on the DEX wireless technology, which is a very secure and encrypted wireless. I know in some spaces we might be worried about some of this crosstalk and getting out into other places, but with DEX, you can feel secure on that. Also has built-in AEC and noise reduction to try to give you the best audio possible. So this, I think, is really neat, and why I like this, as I said, it's a great problem solver for your spaces. It's mobile and allows you to put some of this intelligent audio into any space there. Honorable mention here, Crestron is also in the process of developing a wired version of this for your conference spaces to pair with their NVX, NAX platforms that we can talk more about if you're interested. So with that being said, I know these are quick, and that's the point. I want to respect your time. If you have any questions about any of this gear or anything we've talked about or want to see any of this live in person, please let us know. My team will reach out to you. We can get something scheduled. And at that point, I'll open it up if anybody has any questions here. Otherwise, we'll let you get back to your day. All right. I'm not seeing anything come through. Well, thank you again for your time. I hope to see you again at the next one, and enjoy your weekend for me. Thanks, everybody.